Sanjeev ji, you have mentioned about some of the loopholes in certain, frameworks, whether like EU's risk-based approach or whether it is US, framework. But what about India? Like, do you think that the butterfly, impact, we can keep that at bay? Are we planning certain framework, such a robust framework? Are we planning that which can help
So,
us?
so I've written this paper, which some of you can read. It's called the Complex Adaptive System Framework to Regulate Artificial Intelligence. Now, it turns out that you see there are many other complex adaptive systems we routinely regulate. Okay, we regulate, for example, financial markets. Okay. But the
Right.
important thing about regulating these things is that it doesn't require complex adaptive system regulation does not require you to know where it is going. You see, the Europeans assume that their bureaucrats know where the system is going and they can regulate. Or Chinese are assuming their government officials know where it's going, they'll regulate. The Americans are assuming that the companies that are developing all of these things know where it is going. But the main problem with this is that you don't know where it is going. Now, since you do not know where it is going, can you create regulations that are agnostic to our ability to predict? Now, it turns out there are a whole bunch of things that we do regulate, like financial markets, where we don't know where it is going. SEBI does not need to know where the stock market is going in order to be able to regulate it.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's a lot. So we do this kind of thing in all kind of management of forests. We don't have to know exactly how the creatures in the forest are behaving in order to manage a forest, or many other things we manage like this. So here, what we have done is we've created a paper and created some principles that I'm going to present now, so that you understand that all regulation of complex adaptive system needs to think about these regulations. So I'll give you some. So the first one that I talk about is instituting of guardrails and partitions to prevent wildfires. What I'm saying here is that we probably need to sacrifice the idea of the Internet of everything. Everything is interconnected and automated and does their own thing. We probably need to deliberately create boundaries and partitions with strict separation between distinct AI systems so that they don't begin to talk to each other and begin to take control of things. So now we do this kind of thing all the time when managing forests, for example. We create wildfire partitions. And I'm just saying that you take this idea and you introduce hard partitions so that on the day that the financial system fails, we don't also have all the AI also blows up our electricity system and our medical system. So you create partitions, so certain bits of it will fail all the time. We should assume they will keep failing, but they can't spread. So you need to create hardwire partitions, number one. Second, you need to create manual overrides and authorization choke points where human beings at different levels have to ask for authorization. So this is again multi-factor authorization of various kinds of governance. You introduce all of those kinds of things. Again, we do kinds of things routinely with financial market regulations and other things. Thirdly, you need to insist on audits for transparency and explainability. So you need to say that every AI system or major AI system, you have to have a system where you have mandated monitoring. If something is doing okay, again, we actually do this routinely with financial accounts.
That's right.
We insist that every company is able to explain to us what on earth its earnings are. We do this routinely. Why is it such a big deal to ask AI companies and to explain to us why their AI does certain things and audit it? Now, and then we can also similarly audit various choke points. After all, in financial markets, we have all kinds of things that we create choke points of all kinds, including, for example, having in financial markets fall very fast, we switch off the system. We have manual overrides. We have concepts of Chinese walls between various parts of the financial system, whether corporate finance and markets, and various points we have tried, Glass-Steagall Act, all kinds of things we have done. So we are used to also creating these kinds of partitions in financial markets. Then We need to create a system of distinct accountability. One of the very big dangers is that you see something really bad will happen, and the people who created all those things will say, "Oh, it's not our fault. We didn't know what was happening," or the guys who gave us the data gave us faulty data, or our little bit of the AI system is fine. These three systems that we connected to it were at fault. All this garbage will happen. So again, what we need to do is to have a system of incident reporting and a predefined liability protocol, i.e., when something goes wrong,